Welcome to my video on addition, subtraction, and multiplication of complex numbers. Before we get into that, we've got to define equality of complex numbers. Two complex numbers, a plus ib and c plus id, where I is the square root of -1. We covered that in a previous video. I'll give you a link in the back. Are equal if and only if the two real terms are equal. So that would be the a and the c. And the two complex imaginary terms are equal, b and d. So that tells you if all the elements are the same, then the numbers are the same. And both of them are equal to 0, a and b, or c and d equal to 0, then the complex number itself is 0. Now when we're dealing with the sum of a complex number, we'll take this first number, a plus ib plus c plus id. What we do is we add the real terms together, and then we add the imaginary terms together. So let's do an example. So we want to add 3 minus 4i plus 5 minus 3i. Okay, now we're going to add the real terms together, so that's 3 plus 5. We add that to, put the I out front, we add the constants in front of the I, which is going to be minus 4 plus 3. Now, completing that, we're going to come up with, this is going to be equal to 8. This is equal to -1. So we're going to get 8 minus I is going to be the summation of those two complex numbers. Now let's look at subtraction of complex numbers. We saw this equation very similar just a second ago. We've got two numbers in standard form. Instead of a plus, we have a minus now. So what we're going to do, we're going to subtract the real portions and subtract the coefficients, the constants in front of the I, or the complex portion, imaginary portion. And that's the way we're going to do this. It's just turning the plus into a minus. So we want to subtract, and we're going to do 2 plus 6i minus 4 minus 3i. So those are the two complex numbers we want to subtract. So now we want to subtract off the real parts, 2 minus 4, that's that and that. Now we want to subtract off, that's going to be equal to the imaginary parts, which is 6, and that's a minus and a plus, a minus 3. So let's see, we've got 2 minus 4 is minus 2, and we've got 6, and then so this minus and this minus cancel each other, makes that a plus, so plus 9i. So there's our answer for the subtraction. Next, we will look at multiplication of complex numbers. So here's our two numbers in standard form. And what we're going to use is we're going to multiply two binomials. So you remember this from the quadratic equation, or when you have two binomials, you're multiplying together. You can use that first, outer, inner, last. So if we do that, what we come up with is a. The first would be a and c, right there. The outer would be a di, and the inner would be these two right here. So that's bic plus, and then the last, these two right here. Multiply those together, and we get the I squared bd. Now we can regroup this, put all the real terms together. So that's going to be this one. And let's see, it's going to be that one. Since that one's going to, the I squared is just going to be equal to a minus 1, or 1. And so let's see, so we're going to get AC minus BD. I correct myself, that is a minus 1, because we've got square root of minus 1 squared. Square root of minus 1 squared is equal to minus 1. So I squared is equal to minus 1. And then the terms associated with the i's, or the imaginary portions, is going to be the AD term and then the BC term. So there is our equation. So let's do an example. So let's look at, we've got 5 plus root 3 times 2 minus 5 root minus 5. Now this can be rewritten as 5 plus I root 3 times 2 minus I root 5. Because we just factored out the minus 1, which is the I. Okay, now using our FOIL method, so 5, so the first is going to be 5 times 2, plus the outer terms, which are going to be, let's see, that's 5 times that, so that's going to be a minus I 5 root 5. So that's the outer. Now let's do the inner, which are going to be these right here. So that's going to be plus I 2 root 3. And then the last. So we've got minus, because we've got that minus sign there, we got I squared root 3 root 5. So those are the terms combined together. And so the minus I squared just becomes a 1. We saw that up here. So let's multiply this out. So 10 is equal to 5 times 2. Now we're going to get, let's see, we've got minus I 5 root 5. Now we're going to combine these terms, plus I 2 root 3, and then this is going to be a plus root 3 root 5. Because we got rid of the I squared, converted it to minus 1. Now let's combine terms, so we're going to get, the real terms are going to be 10 plus root 3 root 5. Now we'll combine the imaginary terms, and so we're going to get minus 5 root 5 from this one. And then this one right here is going to be plus 2 root 3, and this is all times I. And we know this we could recombine to root 15 if we wanted to simplify it a little further. So this is going to be our solution of the multiplication. I hope you got something out of this video, learned a little bit about addition, subtraction, and multiplication of complex numbers. If you did, please give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.